It's been a long time, old girl. Feels as if it's been a night lonely. I'm right sorry. Never figured it'd take me 30 years to... It's all there now. Richard's boy with me. Fine young'un. His ma's kin tried to take him when she and Richard passed. Slight chance. We're gonna build a cabin up yonder ways. But I'll come see you every day. It's a promise. I miss you, Meg. After 30 years, I miss you as much as the day I put you in there. A hollowness came over me that I never did feel.
Stop by your camp.
I come by to see Margaret.
I'm sorry it's grown over. Tom used to keep it up. Jubal, this is the first time since... Well, this is the first time I've been back to this part of Oak Meadows.
All these years. Well, you'll come by more often now. I mean, we'll be dividing a visit between here and your place.
But Jubal...
You come home with exactly the news the whole valley is hoping to hear. It's thrown back in your teeth, and you stand there as calm as a mule chewing on summer grass.
What would you like me to do?
You have worked harder to get that dam put in than anybody else.
That's true.
Then get fired up. Show me something, anything. Just show me you're alive, will you?
Aren't you fired up enough for both of us?
She's like talking to a stone wall.
And what do you propose? Busting through that stone wall?
Oh, come on now, Jared. I've known you to ram your head once or twice.
And sometimes it's better to go around.
You just try going around the people in this valley when they hear they've lost their dam.
Nick, now I'm sure when Mother and Mr. Tanner are presented with the facts in an unemotional way, the plans for the dam will go ahead.
They won't if Oak Meadows is the only answer. How was your trip?
The trip was quiet. Things changed a little when I got here. How about some sherry?
Thank you. I meant what I just said.
Well, now, I'm sure there's more than one answer if we look for it.
Either kick him out or get him another piece of land.
You'll do neither one. Jubal Tanner is a very old and a very dear friend.
And you have some very old and very dear friends here, too, Mother.
Now, Mother, I'm sure whatever reason you have, it's a good one. But you have to consider the fact it'll be affecting hundreds of others.
Your father promised Jubal that land long before any of you were born.
And I'd be the first to do what Father wanted. But wouldn't he have wanted the dam, too?
So do I. But we don't own the land.
The deed hasn't been signed yet.
Since when does a Barkley need his signature to make his word good?
Some broken down old nobody drifts in here looking for something.
Easy now. I drifted in here 6 months ago looking for something.
That was different.
Was it? I was looking for what I believed was mine. A place to set some roots down. And that old man, he's looking for the same thing. I just can't see how I can argue against it.
Couldn't we at least offer him another section of land?
Your father and I helped him bury his wife at Oak Meadows. What other section would you suggest?
We'll sit here, and we'll look the whole thing over. And over there, we'll have a fireplace big enough to burn half a tree.
Gosh, Gramps, sure sounds good. When are we gonna build it?
Oh, I figure sometime this week when we get enough lumber up here from town.
A real house with more than one room.
That's what we'll have.
And glass in the windows?
And wood on the floor.
And doors that close instead of a hanging blanket.
And ticking to sleep on instead of a lot of flea-bitten old fur.
Yeah.
And plenty of water to bathe in.
Yeah, and we'll have... You have to get me
What do you want?
Seems you're set up here for quite a time.
Well, for long enough.
Well, this is a squatter country, old time. I'm afraid you're gonna have to clear out.
Now, hold on.
I'm speaking for the owners.
This is my land, bought and paid for.
Well, I don't know who sold it to you, but I guarantee you've been taken.
Well, I got no idea what that means, and I ain't sure I care.
It means this whole area is gonna be flooded soon. It means there's gonna be a dam built up here.
Gramps!
Don't you fret, boy.
We'll see about ownership.
Mr. One of us is in for a powerful surprise.
Jared, I was just on my way over to see you, and I noticed this campsite here.
What's he been saying?
Some nonsense about a dam.
Don't worry about a thing.
I ain't worried.
Jared, what is this?
That's my oldest son, Jared.
Jared, do you know what this old man just told me?
I know all about it, Len.
And?
He purchased Oak Meadows from my mother yesterday.
Well, then you buy it back. Jared, it's official. The committee approved the plans. I've got the go-ahead to start construction.
I'd appreciate being let in on what this talk of a dam means.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, old-timer. It means trouble if this isn't straightened out. Now, that's no threat. It's just a statement of fact. You see, there are a lot of people with a stake in this. A lot of people who gave their nickels and dimes and dollars to pay for the lobbying done in Sacramento. Jared, you're the one who wanted all this. You're the one who's handled the whole thing so far. Now, what are you gonna do?
There'll be work for I don't know how many in building it. Then there'll be new farmland and more people to work that land. And it'll mean new trade for the store owners in Stockton and new businesses in the valley. It all adds up to a lot of people, Jubal, and a lot of opportunities I believe they have a right to.
Jared, I'm 68. And the better part of my life on this earth, I worked for one thing, mind you. Long time ago, I took a frail, pretty little girl from a safe place, and I brought her out here. I promised her a home of her own. When she died, I promised her something else. I promised her the land she was buried in. Yesterday, I kept that promise. Well, that might mean nothing to some. All them years, a promise to a dead person. Fair enough. You was talking about rights. The rights of all them people. I figure each by themselves are only one, just like I'm only one. And I got rights, and I own this land, and by gar, I'm going to keep it.
Well, I guess that's about as simple as it can be put. Well, I tried.
And?
He wouldn't budge.
And there it's going to sit, and you're going to do nothing about it?
No, I'm still going to try everything I know to get him to change his mind.
Well, you better succeed, because this whole valley isn't going to lose out on account of one stubborn old man. You know that.
Jared, that stubborn old man was once a very young, very determined young man who was very much in love. Believe me, he is not going to change his mind.
You could help me.
No. No, I couldn't.
Well, looks like the hen party broke up early.
Still going on, for all I know.
Oh?
You should have heard what Flora Benson had to say about Oak Meadows.
Flora Benson?
The Benson timber family. Her company would supply all the lumber if the dam were built.
Flora, is she the one with the reddish hair? A little on the plump side?
Yes.
She been giving you a hard time?
You should hear some of the things she said about Mother.
Oh, hon, just consider the source.
I did more than that. I told her off.
As only you can.
Heath, are you as confused as I am?
Whether to side with Mother and Tanner or Jared and Nick and the rest of the valley. There's a lot of good argument to both sides.
Well, then you haven't decided either.
I have.
Then will you help me decide?
My feelings are based on a lot of things that have only to do with me.
Padre, whatever you decide, it's not going to affect the trial.
What trial?
The trial of the whole Barkley family. The verdict will be in sometime later today.
What does that mean?
It means that Jared is planning to sign over the deed to Jubal Tanner later this afternoon. And I'm going to go on over there and try to talk some sense into him before it's too late. You want to come along?
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see how the trial comes out. Little sister, I'm sorry I can't help you decide. But whichever road you choose to travel, don't you think you could get there on your own?